If a potential client told you, let me think about it, what would be your first response? Most people will make the mistake of agreeing to this way too early and let's say something like, okay, sure, let me know. And then maybe a week goes by, months go by, and you never hear back from your prospect and the deal is basically dead. So what I wanted to do in this video is show you exactly step by step how to handle the objection, let me think about it, so that you can start turning these prospects into paying customers. And you wanna make sure you watch this video until the end because this is gonna be a very common objection that you're always gonna get whether you're in sales or business development. So in this video, you're gonna learn how to crush this objection once and for all. What's going on, everybody? My name is Patrick Dang. Before we go ahead and get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first step of handling the objection, let me think about it, is to understand where this objection is coming from. You see, in a sales meeting, when people tell you, let me think about it, it's very unclear on why exactly they are telling you that. Do they not have the budget, or do they need to have some kind of approval process? Maybe they need to talk it over with their wife, their boss, right? It could be any reason for why someone doesn't buy. And as sales and business development people, we are not mind readers, right? We don't know what someone is thinking. We can guess, but we don't actually know. So how you're gonna handle the objection, let me think about it, is you wanna, number one, first understand where this objection is coming from, all right? Getting to the truth of why they can't buy. And once you get to the truth, then you can actually handle the real objection that's going on here. And something to note is that when somebody tells you, let me think about it, there's some type of objection that they have that prevents them from moving forward with the deal. And a lot of times, maybe they don't trust you enough or you haven't built enough rapport for them to actually tell you the real reason for why they're not buying. So now we're gonna dive into how you can actually get to the crux, the reality, the truth of why people don't buy. And you can turn this around and turn these people into customers. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you an example of how I would handle the objection, let me think about it, okay? So let's say I'm a salesperson and I'm selling something to Tim. And we're closer to the end of the meeting, right? Where we're trying to close the deal, but there's some objections and Tim says, this sounds great, Patrick. Let me go ahead and think about it. So I would respond by saying, all right, Tim, that totally makes sense. Now I'm actually just curious. When you say think about it, I'm curious to know what exactly do you need to think about? Maybe since we're already talking over the phone, I can help answer some of those questions for you so you don't have to figure it out all on your own. Tim might say something like, well, I actually might need to talk it over with my boss before we can actually move forward with something like this. Then that's an opportunity for me to ask, that actually does make sense, Tim. I really do appreciate you telling me that. Now, I'm actually curious about another thing, and that is what exactly does the approval process look like at your company? So Tim, from there, will kind of share what the approval process will look like. He'll say, sure, we're gonna have a meeting with my boss, do this, do that, blah, 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 right? And you write it all down. And here's what you do to really handle this specific objection, right? You wanna get everyone in the room and you wanna give a presentation. So I'll say, thanks for sharing that with me, Tim. Do you mind if I go ahead and make a recommendation? Tim says, sure, what's up? Then I would say, typically what the next step would be if you're really serious about moving forward with something like this is that we would schedule another meeting with you, your boss, and anyone you feel might benefit from this meeting. And we're gonna give you a quick 30-minute presentation on exactly how our product works and how it's going to solve some of the challenges that we talked about on this call. And by the end of the meeting, both sides will have a very clear understanding on whether or not it's a fit for us to work together. If we find that there is a fit to work together after the demonstration, we can move on to what the next steps will be. But if we find, hey, maybe it's not the best fit, and that's totally fine. So Tim, does that sound fair to you? Tim says, yeah, that actually does make sense, sure. And I'll say, all right, well, does this week work better or does next week? And I'll schedule a time to actually have the demonstration where everyone's gonna be on, right? So let's go ahead and analyze this objection so you know exactly how I was able to handle it and how you can actually take those lessons and apply it to your specific sale. So the first thing that I did was, I asked a question, I try to understand what exactly Tim was thinking when he says, let me think about it, right? Is it because he doesn't have budget? Is there an approval process, or is there something else? So I don't actually know the reason, so that's why I gotta ask. So in the example that we just did, Tim needed to talk it over with his boss, and there's some kind of approval process at their company before they buy any product from another vendor. So basically, I just need to ask, what does that actually look like, so I can go through the steps to actually get a deal done at their company. And then from there, what I do is I kind of get the feel of how I'm gonna sell. And in this situation, I would prefer to do a demonstration where I would get everybody in the same room, right? Instead of me talking to Tim and Tim relaying that information to his boss, which a lot of, of what I'm saying might get lost in communication. I would rather just directly talk to all the decision makers at the same time to make sure this is a fit for them. And one of the best ways to do that is actually just to do a presentation or a demonstration on exactly how my product works, and show them how I can solve a lot of the pains that Tim told me on this sales call. And I also made it very transparent on what would happen at the end of that demonstration, right? So I'm saying, if we do the demonstration, everything looks good and you want to move forward, then we'll move on to the next step. I don't have to say what the next step is, but there is a next step, whether it's negotiation, legal, IT calls, it depends on the sale, but we'll move on to the next step to get closer to closing the deal. And I also said that if there isn't a fit for us to work together, they can just tell me no, and that's totally fine. We'll just leave it at that. So it's very clear on exactly what's gonna happen in that meeting. So when Tim goes to his boss knows exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to do a presentation and close a deal. And he can say yes, he can say no, but it's not like a mystery. I'm not saying something like, hey, let me have a meeting with your boss. It doesn't make sense, because the boss, right, may not know exactly what my intentions are, and so they may be very hesitant to take a meeting, especially if they think I'm just gonna sell them. But if I just tell them up front, hey, I just want to do a presentation to, help you guys, and you can say yes, you can say no, it doesn't matter to me. And when you're that transparent and people understand the value that you bring, and you really did a good job in identifying pains on the first sales call to earn the permission to ask for a demonstration with that person's boss, then they're gonna be much more likely to take your meeting. An important lesson is that there's no high pressure, sales techniques, no pressure to buy. Really, I'm just coming in a position where I'm genuinely trying to help, and if I actually can, then of course they will move forward with the deal, because it's a no-brainer. And so with that said, that is pretty much how you are going to handle the objection. Let me think about it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this, and let me know in the comments, do you want to see more of these kind of sales objection videos? Because if you do, happy to make more. And if you have an objection that you're facing and you're having trouble, dealing with, put it in the comments and I'll make a video on how I can help you out. And so with that said, my name is Patrick Dang. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.